What's happening, everybody? I'm back. It's me, your resident supervillain, Mr. Jay Washington, and I'm here with my review for Netflix's Too Hot to Handle. Now, if you have not seen the series yet, come on back because there will be spoilers. I really was debating about doing a review on this shit. Like, I need to do one on Love is Blind because that's some shit that needs to be talked about. I need to do one on The Circle because that's some shit to talk about. And then I was like, yo, I'm going to do Too Hot to Handle because I cannot go without talking about this shit. First of all, let me say I apologize for the lack of reviews. Y'all already know what's been going on. I was decided what's been going on. So ain't been no movies, so ain't been no reviews, no real TV shows. I was thinking about going back to movies I hadn't seen this past year and start reviewing those. But then I tried to find myself other things to do. So I'm here. So let's get into it, man. This is about a bunch of sexed up, oversexed, shall I say, singles who get put on an island on a resort who think they there to just fuck and bang all 30 days. Come to find out they are there to see if they can go without having sex or any type of intimacy with anyone and potentially win a cash prize. Now, I got it. Cool. Bam. You meet the cast of characters. I'm not gonna go through all of them one by one, but if you've seen the show, you know who I'm talking about. The chick Haley. She's the sorority girl from Florida. When I tell y'all she perpetuated every goddamn stereotype of a blonde chick from Florida in a sorority, she for damn sure did so. You can see she was real shiesty from jump, but at the same time, it was always meant to believe in this show, right? That it was gonna be dudes banging with girls and girls banging with dudes. Now if it happens that the girls get it on with each other or the guys, it is what it is. But it's always implied within these shows. You know what I'm saying? This chick Haley seemed like she only wanted one chick, and there was this chick Francesca who looked like the Lost Kardashian. Like she was bad, but she looked like she could be Chloe's or Kim's stepsister from her mama in a new marriage with another dude that don't nobody know about, minus TMZ. But the whole time, everybody was trying to find somebody to pair off with, hook up, see who they like. She literally was adamant about nobody. She was adamant about no one except for Francesca. And at the point, here's the deal too. So if you do certain thing, now keep in mind I told you that it was a prize money, right? Just trying to review this shit's crazy. There's prize money. There's $100,000 prize on the line. If you can go the entire retreat, the month, without boning, okay? Without having sex with anybody, without kissing, without masturbation, which, by the way, I'd have lost all the money for everybody. Let me tell you something. I got to bust a nut sometimes to have a clear head. It ain't nothing to do with sexual frustration. It's somehow my mind clears. I know a bunch of men and women who feel the same way. You just go ahead and get one off. It'd be 3 in the afternoon. You ain't really horny, but you gotta focus because you got work to do. And you like, how do I get myself on track? Bada bow. Next thing you know, you like, let's go. So if you do any of those aforementioned things, kiss, have sex, masturbate, anything like that, they even just say self-gratification, you will lose money. So it's one point where this couple, Harry, who's a dude from Australia, and Francesca, the chick I told y'all about, they kiss, and then they lie, and they cost the group 3 stacks, right? For those who know what 3 stacks is, it's $3,000. It cost 3 stacks. The group lied, blah, blah, blah. So Francesca, Harry and Francesca lie, or better yet, they try to dime each other out, even though both of them guilty as fuck. They trying to make it seem like they weren't the bad person, broke the rules. So then Francesca paired up with Haley, the dumb chick, right? Haley and Francesca started getting to the point they want to be schemy and shiesty, and they were like, yo, I don't give a fuck. We should cost people all the money. It don't matter. You find out Francesca out here making her young living off IG. She got over 300,000 followers, which I was like, it figures. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a page on Instagram with substance. You know what I'm saying? You just be half naked, and next thing you know, you got 100,000 followers. I'm going to get to all that later. But they decide to go ahead and sabotage, and these 2 chicks start kissing and making out hard. Here's the thing. Like, you can tell both of them done it before. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, you can tell when this is happening, Haley is more focused on Francesca than anything else. Francesca just like, all right, we just did something to screw the people over. Haley like, I'm moist in my bikini. And I know you ain't supposed to use the word moist. But anyway, group finds out, you know what I'm saying, they lose another 3K. Ain't nobody admitting to it. Then all of a sudden, You know what I'm saying? The AI computer that's watching everybody named Lana, you know what I'm saying? They got an AI watching y'all, just studying your every move, just inputting information. Sound like Facebook without typing. And she ended up nickel and diming him out, basically. So Haley get mad. After a while, Haley leaves. She want to leave. She ain't connected with nobody because she found out basically her girl Francesca want to be with this dude Harry. Long story short, you got Francesca out here. She goes sleep with this big black linebacker British dude named Kales. Kales basically like, I want to smash, but I'm all about the money. He the accountant. You know what I'm saying? He like, look, I like titties. I like ladies. I like money a little bit more of the situation. And I'm like, hey man, you got self-control. So, but Francesca's out here, everybody, you know, trying to get everybody. You have a black woman named Rhonda who, she's a strong chick. You can look at her. But she also, the thing is, everybody come in this thing, men and women, like, yo, I like sex. I love sex. I love fucking blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm all about hitting and quit it, one night stands. They let you all know this. So there isn't any label per se you should be able to put on anybody because you know what this is. And you know, we're in this day and age where people say you shouldn't slut shame when somebody wants to be sexually liberated, let them do what they do. Bet. Do what you do. To each his own. But Rhonda comes in and she sees this British dude, David, but she also sees this little short black nigga named Sharon. Now, Sharon he literally opened the middle. He the shortest nigga here, but probably ain't got no chance because he saw the big 6'7" linebacker nigga kills. Long story short, Sharon, you know what I'm saying? You think Sharon and Rhonda getting it on, they get to know each other. Come to find out, Sharon starts shutting down like most dudes do. This is something that you see. This is like the most niggish breakdown ever of a show I think I've ever done. Next to my angry review of Tyler Perry's Fall from Grace. Like, you see a lot of dudes who sometimes, if they've been hurt in relationships, it turns their whole mental focus around when it comes to relationships. They never want to commit. They don't care about love per se because love has screwed them over. And so he was like, yo, I just want to try to smash Shorty. Shorty gonna eventually let me smash. And she like, all right, I'll probably hit too. But again, in the back of their minds, it's this prize money. So at some point, Rhonda started feeling for Sharon, right? She like, yo, I'm feeling dude. But dude closed off. So then another British dude named David comes swoop in. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. You got a British accent to a black woman 9 times out of 10. You got them, they nipples looking like baby thumbs. So it's something about accents that I know a lot of women in general, but I know black women go crazy. I know this from seeing black women I know have a thing for whatever. So David starts getting, you know what I'm saying, opening up. They have a session where they have to learn how to communicate non-verbally, which for a lot of people is extremely difficult. A lot of people cannot just give off non-verbal cues, and nor can the person pick them up. And one of the things they had to do in the workshop was to look into each other's eyes, to look into each other's souls and see what they see. You know, and the thing was to get them to look at the inner of a person as opposed to the outer, the physical. And at one point they did this, and so David, the British dude, tells Rhonda he sees a strong woman, an intellectual, a powerful, you know, all these positive affirmations which are more than likely true. And he cries a little bit because of, you know, what he sees. And he even mentions, I saw you, not your body. And she actually gets a little emotional because she was like, men have never told me they saw me for me. Which, when you hear that, it puts a lot of his perspective too, of how we don't, when people go to in this hookup culture, you're not hooking up because, of course, you don't want to get to know anybody. You're just trying to go off how they look. But a lot of people do keep themselves open for the potential to have somebody get to know them. That's the thing. It's just a real thing of what it is. But it doesn't always happen. That low-key, though, pisses off Sharon. He like, yo, what the fuck, man? We supposed to be boys. You supposed to be my man's 16 grand. Like, we ain't really 50 grand because we ain't know each other like that. Like, 16 grand, you supposed to be my man's. You trying to holler at her. And he like, yo, you been cut off from her and she wants somebody to open up. Like, yo, I'm doing that. Now, here's the deal, though. Me being a good, cool British dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to pull back, let you go. But if you don't open up, I'm opening in. You know what I'm saying? And so that happens. But you have all these other relationships that happen. You have all these other things that go about. And you have all this temptation. And it is like Temptation Island and Love Island without just with a cash prize in a sense. All these things. I say all of that to say Because I could go beat by beat and all the different things that happens. It's 8 episodes. They're about 40 minutes each, if at the most. Go check it out yourself. But I wanted to say this about the show. This is something I've noticed in general when it comes to dating shows. Now, The Circle is a different one in this case because it's who you appear to be online based off of what you post. That's it. But Too Hot to Handle, Love is Blind, and a lot of these other dating shows and reality shows, the one common thing I see is there's never any normal or ugly people. There's always the proverbial hot people. And I understand the show's called Too Hot to Handle. But in that situation, you would think too hot to handle means too hot as far as you're sexually on fire. I say all that to say, as an ugly dude who personally feels like, yo, because yes, there is a part where, before I go into this, there's a part in the show where they have a workshop where they have to have the other person, the partner, write the words that they say that have been used to describe them. So a lot of the women have heard themselves be called fat, ugly, cow, slut. A lot of the dudes conceited, arrogant, big-headed, selfless, heartless, different things. But one dude named Bryce. So a white dude named Bryce, because of course I don't know none but one black person named Bryce. So 9 times out of 10 it's a black dude named Bryce. Bryce, who lives on a boat out here in LA, he's always having boat parties, and because he has a boat, he's popular with the ladies and gonna get laid a lot because women out here a lot of women, not all, but a lot are very shallow, and they'll just go on a boat. But he's one of the biggest things that hit me. His word that he hears a lot is ugly, and he has a girl write it on him, and they're like, why ugly? He's like, yo, I was bullied as a kid. I've been told this all my life. When I finally got a chance to do something different, I overcompensated with sex. I didn't care anymore about feelings. It was just like sex was the thing to just be an outlet or whatnot. Goes back to my point. Now, Netflix cast him possibly because he said he sometimes feels ugly, but because he also said he fucks on a boat a lot. He uses his boat to just have sex, and that's all he's about. He's a party animal. He gets the ladies. He throws boat parties and drinks and kicks it. And, they show a little small video package. But there are never any of the normal looking people. And when I say normal, because everyone isn't hot. Everyone isn't a photo shoot ready, photo shoot fresh every single day, 24/7. As soon as you take a picture, it's like a headshot day. People are sometimes, for lack of better words, not aesthetically pleasing. Now, whether to another person they're ugly, to another person they're too fat, they're too skinny, too short, too tall, all these different things. These people, and a lot more I didn't mention, are never utilized on these shows. Now, I know a lot of dudes and a lot of women who people would consider ugly, but guess what? They fuck a lot. They are the types that if you asked them could they go without sex, they probably couldn't. You have a lot of heavyset men and women. They fuck a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we're supposed to be in this day and age where we're so open and accepting to everyone, and we're trying to show the world when we do these TV shows and reality shows and movies, and we're supposed to show the world as this giant melting pot, this giant rainbow, this cornucopia of all different types of people from all walks of life, but when in all actuality, we only want to show what societal norms has deemed us as hot and attractive. And again, I go back to myself. I, as a child, was bullied heavily. I was called ugly. I have a burn on my head and my shoulder that I got at the age of 2 from pouring a pot of boiling water on the stove. It's called all types of names like burnt biscuit and all this, that, and the third. I'm open about it. I talk about it a lot. I would never be cast on one of those shows. Granted, there may be a woman or two who says, yo, Jay, you're beautiful. I think you're fine. I want to get at you. But to the casting directors, I'm not appealing to the eye because I'm not hot in societal standards. And there's a lot of people who might want to take this test, might want to take this experiment. if you will, and are not deemed the right fit by societal norms as to what they have, what they have deemed are societal norms. And I think that's something that may need to be addressed. Now, I use the show Too Hot to Handle, but at the same time I brought up The Circle. At the same time I brought up Love Is Blind, and Love Is Blind applies to that as well, because the thing was, can you fall in love with someone sight unseen? Can you develop a bond with just hearing their voice and talking to them? To answer the question, in this day and age, no. Back in the day, possibly. Now, when I say back in the day, I don't mean 30, 40 years ago, but I do mean as much as 10, 15. You could talk to somebody and get to know them and have that relationship and then see what happens when you meet them. And yes, there is a possibility you do not like what you see. There's always that chance. But when you go on a show to say, no matter what, I'm going to love them for who they are, and then you see them, and in many cases, if you saw Love Is Blind, that happened. But when you go back to Too Hot to Handle, you're putting a bunch of people who live a shallow, sex-filled lifestyle, and you're telling them they're going to do an experiment to see if they can grow and develop themselves and mature themselves to be a more open person, to learn to have deeper, more meaningful relationships, and you're asking them to do that, and you're only doing that because they're hot. Now, will they maintain those relationships that many of them have, built? Possibly, but possibly not, because what you notice through the show is a lot of people are in general from the UK. A lot of people from England, a lot of people from, one girl from Ireland, one girl from Canada, a dude from Australia, a few people sprinkled in from various points in the US. So the long distance is a thing, but it's like where you're asking for people to say, all right, for this camera, I'm going to act like I got a brand new life. Now, the question becomes, do they maintain that same standard? Do they go back to being who they are? But again, I just brought all this up to go to the whole, I would love for these reality shows that go along this line. The Bachelor, Love, Listen to Your Heart, all these different love shows, Temptation Island, all this stuff, to just not go for the hot people. Again, I know it may sound like you're like, yo, what the fuck is your ugly ass talking about? I know what it sounds like. I do. But I figure because I got the platform, I can speak on it. She got some water. But it's like, there are people that you may not consider the normal hot motherfuckers that are fucking. Low key, I'm mad. I spent all day yesterday between recording, doing the live show Blurs in the Hood, filming a review for Harley Quinn, working out for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I watched the whole damn season Too Hot to Handle because it was one of them shows that drew me in. And I know that's the point of the show. It's going to make you start watching it, and then you're going to be like, what the fuck am I watching? And you watch another episode. And you're like, why am I still watching this? And you watch another, and you watch another. And before you know it, you've binged the whole season. I get it. But at the same time, wouldn't it be nice for once to see people who look like you? Now, I'm not saying you're ugly. I'm not saying you hot. But just think about it. Even with dudes, without all the glitz and glamour, you know what I'm saying? If you can just do yourself the basic way you do just to be presentable to go out, wouldn't you want to see yourself represented like that? Something I just want to throw in your head. So I want to do a review on this. But let me know what you think in the comments below, all right? Like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. Did you watch this show? Are you now inclined to watch it more now? Yeah, that's what I want to know, all right? But follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. J Washington. It's spelled right down there. It's here under Too Hot to Handle, but it's there. Follow me there. Join my Supervillain Squad on Patreon, patreon.com/Mr. J Washington. I got a bunch of my old stand-up clips up there. I got interviews with the cast of Pennyworth. I got a couple things up there, so please. I got some of my wrestling matches. Yes, I'm also pro wrestler, so those up there too. So go join the Supervillain Squad on Patreon. It's only $5, so you get a lot for $5. Also, make sure you're checking out the Mad Titan podcast. This is where I get you caught up on everything happening in the Marvel and DC live action and cinematic universes. It is barbershop talk for nerds, so come on in the convo if you can't tell with all the comic book shit behind me, because Most of the times, I'm just reviewing comic book TV shows and movies, but I do a lot of other shit as well. Also, check out Blurs in the Hood. I mentioned that earlier. Myself and Winston A. Marshall. We go live every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. We have a whole lot of fun. We talk nerd, pop culture, entertainment, real world shit, real life shit, and sometimes we just go completely off the rails. Check out our YouTube channel and subscribe. YouTube.com/Blerds in the Hood. That's BLERDS, the letter NTHEHOOD. All right. I will holler at you guys later. Till then, take care. I'm out of here.